I'd like to introduce our fellow speakers on stage. So I think we have two of the five banks, which is great. So can I please ask to join us Mr. Cătălin Cepiscă, who is Manager, Structured Finance Syndicated Credit Projects at the Raiffeisen Bank. Welcome to you, sir. And also we have Marius Nadoli, the Treasury Department of Pro Credit Bank. So welcome to you, sir. You can also give him a warm round of applause. And what's nice is we can hear from the mouth of a final recipient, which is always absolutely critical. So could you please give a warm welcome to Adrian Bruana from Milcom Romania, because he's also going to share his experience. Thank you very much. So welcome to you all. Let me just... I think I'd like to start with you, actually, Adrian. The obvious question is, just very briefly, tell us about the project that's been financed under the financial instrument, the business, and how did you find out about it, the loans offered?
Am beneficiat prin cadrul programului Agri, de o finanțare în luna noiembrie pentru remodernizarea pardoselii din cadrul unității de procesare. Iarăși
Can I just give a bit of information? Can you just, before you start, in case you don't get into this, I just want to clarify that you're speaking as part of Milcom Production Company. So I just want to be very clear. Which is a cheese,
managerul acestei firme, da.
Which is a cheese maker.
O fabrică de procesare lapte.
Yeah, so
produse autentice românești dintr-o zonă montană. Produse care ajung foarte bine pe piața românească și se vând. Dar noi nu suntem numai beneficiariul numai acestui program Agri. În 2008 am accesat am depus un proiect și în cadrul programului SAPARD pe măsura 4.2. În 2014, în cadrul altui program pe FADR, tot pe 4.2, am avut un al doilea proiect și cel de acum prin cadrul programului Agri. Ca sursă de informare pentru acest program Agri am avut banca, care ne-a fost un partener de nădejde. Consilierii de credit au încercat și ne-au convingându-ne să accesăm acest credit, care ne oferă o facilitate prin faptul că beneficiul este dat de acel 50% dobândă redusă, precum și 50% garantarea creditului.
So it was the bank coming to you. You had that coming to you. The bank specifically reached out to you. Is that correct? As opposed to you looking around and hearing. The bank came to you proactively.
Ca orice unitate economică care dorește să se dezvolte, apelează la servicii financiare oferite de bancă. Dar banca, fiind o bancă fidelă clientului ei, a încercat să creeze niște facilități pentru acordarea acestui credit. Și ne-a prezentat acest produs financiar.
And where has the funding concentrated on? What have you used it? What is the benefits that you're getting out of this particular type of financial instrument? What have you improved? What have you enhanced? Where have you made changes?
Am încercat să creștem siguranța alimentară a produselor noastre. Deci o componentă a fost modernizarea și creșterea gradului de siguranță a halelor de producție. Iar al doilea credit a fost pentru achiziția de autoutilitare cu sistem de refrigerare pentru transportul produselor către beneficiarii noștri.
Okay. Thank you. Because I think it's always very helpful to get real specifics of where the money's going. So thank you for just heading that up. I'm just going to come to the banks now, because we heard you yourself say it's a complex instrument. It's complex. 5 of you selected. Here are 2 of you. Why was it interesting? Because there were 9 financial intermediaries that showed an interest. Why is it interesting for you, this financial instrument? Why did you want to get involved?
I would like to say that, first of all, it is interesting for our clients because of the benefits that have already been mentioned. First of all, the reduction in interest rate. Second of all, the collateral, the fact that the loan is providing additional collateral, additional guarantee provided by the European Investment Fund. And whatever is beneficial for our clients, it is also beneficial from our side. And now I'm going to support what our client has already said, that indeed we had a good relation with the client, and this is what we apply in all our business relationship with our clients. So whenever we have good products to advise to our clients, to recommend, we are well trained and we are well enough trained to discover that we need to provide those products, and we recommend them to our clients.
Okay. Can I ask the same question to you, please?
Yeah, it's not, we're not competing. We are using the same instrument in order to bring something which is very useful and has been actually named a couple of times here, meaning how to simplify, because even if the product is very complex, I would say, although it's very complex, it's a degree which we don't often find. What we aim with that is actually to bring a very simple product to the customer. Yeah? We take the complexity together with EIF and together with the managing authority. We are doing the analysis and establishing if the eligibility criteria are fulfilled or not. And then we look to the client and say this is a very simple product. And it's a simple product also for the client, because when we were discussing about red tape, yeah, I had in mind a case which happened a couple of days ago. I was sitting in being invited by my colleagues in a committee to discuss credit proposal for SMEs. Yeah? And then we had an entrepreneur coming in, 25 years old. He had really hands which looked being worked, and he says, I'm a farmer. I'm planting an orchard for the last year or something like that. And I need a credit to buy a tractor. And the first question was, why don't you apply for grants? And he said, red tape. I have applied, I didn't qualify, I don't know why, it's too complex for me. I need, and he put an amount for a tractor in order to be able to continue what I have been doing, 2 hectares of land. Look, this is something which is really happening. And I'm going to pay back in maximum 4 years, because if you take what I'm doing, this is the average lifetime when I'm producing money. And the first answer was, okay, we are going to grant him a loan, but why not introduce him into the program? Yeah, because then the interest is almost 0. Yeah? And probably, being a young farmer, he wouldn't have had collateral. Yeah. So that's what I hope this is what is going to happen. It was 2 days or 3 days ago, but probably he will be getting a loan in a couple of weeks, and this will be a case study for further on. So this is why we are doing the program, EIF. It's not just because we like doing complex things. It's just because we feel that the market needs more simplicity and it needs a boost from our side.
May, because it's always interesting to find out whether farmers are talking and recommending things to other farmers. So I know in this case there is the budget ceiling, you talked, but are you somebody who's going to go and talk to other farmers and say, actually, this is a possibility, this particular kind of instrument? Is that what you do in Romania? Is that your experience?
Deci, având în vedere că suntem o firmă de procesare lapte, colaborăm cu peste 200 de ferme. La fel ca și pentru a transmite siguranța produsului la nivelul, pentru a avea o materie primă sigură, încercăm să colaborăm cu fermierii, să îndrumăm spre a se retehnologiza. În acest fel, încercăm să le prezentăm și lor eventuale produse financiare care să-i ajute în dezvoltare.
Sure. I should have been clearer. Out of curiosity, would you go to elsewhere, to other farmers operating in other domains? Because I know you have all these farmers with you, but is it... I'm just curious, just humour me.
Desigur, pentru că interesul este de a dezvolta cât mai mult agricultura. Și celelalte domenii agricole conferă și aduc produse, materii prime necesare pentru a produce în final un produs final, laptele sau brânzeturile.
Before I just open to the floor and check if there's anything that we can take from our good audience, is there anything that you would like to add in terms of the proactive reaching out? You know, we talked a little bit about that and, you know, the helping farmers to understand what this product is, and anything about sort of the risk element, why it's interesting for you because it's minimizing the risk. Anything?
So I think I will re-emphasize what I was saying before, that yes, especially from our point of view as a small bank, it is really necessary to actively search for the clients and to actively advise the clients. I think that there is not enough knowledge about the financial instruments, generally speaking, unless the bank does this active promotion of them and of their benefits. And with regards to the second question, yes, we fully believe that this financial instrument is bringing a benefit to the client and to the bank in the same time, because yes, the collateral requirements are reduced. And in this regard, it helps us to provide loans to clients which otherwise would not have been able to take those loans. In some cases, it helps the clients because they can use their collaterals for other projects, or it just provides, yes, access to finance. Yes, it is a very good instrument. It is helping the market.
Okay.
I'll start with the second question. Yeah, it's true that we can finance both riskier projects or add-on financing where there was no more room for the company to finance itself anymore. We had an example where they built a farm and they needed some other equipment and they stopped investing. And when we presented the product, they say, wow, I can take this 200,000 or 300,000 and buy the stuff and then I'll have a better product. And in terms of being proactive, I will just mention that the harvest season is pretty close. So wheat will be going to Constanța in a couple of weeks. If you are going to see where Romania exports wheat and you are taking the highway to Constanța, you will clearly see a sign with this is a product you should apply for, EIF based. Yeah.
Can I just check in with the floor? Do we have anything? Bruno, do we? No? No? Anything? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Or do you need some fresh air? You probably need a bit of fresh air, don't you? Out of interest, because again, I'm always really, truly delighted to have farmers on the stage with me. Let me just ask you, you mentioned very specific areas where you've used the funds. Would you come again to apply for other aspects of furthering your business and expanding it and making improvements?
O firmă, ca să trăiască, să fie viabilă pe piață, trebuie să investească tot timpul. bugetul nostru avem prevăzut anual investiții de peste 200.000 de euro și încercăm să găsim prin bănci parteneri cu care să dezvoltăm proiectele viitoare. Deci, desigur, dorim să investim pentru că altfel nu o să putem face față cerințelor clienților, cei care consumă produsele noastre.